The soul music of the 1960s and 70s wasn't just about smooth voices and sweet melodies. It was a battleground, a revolution set to music, artists who dared to speak truth to power. These moments changed everything. Radio stations banned them, critics condemned them, authorities tried to silence them, but the people couldn't stop listening. These are 10 controversial soul moments that shocked the world. Number 10, Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come.
I was born by the river.
Sam Cooke was the smoothest voice in soul, the man who made crossover success look effortless. Hit after hit, radio loved him. White America embraced him.
It's been a long.
But in October 1963, everything changed. Cooke and his band tried to check into a Holiday Inn in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And I go downtown.
They'd called ahead, made reservations. But when they arrived, no rooms available.
A long time coming, but I know.
His brother Charles protested. Sam refused to leave. His wife Barbara whispered, "They'll kill you." Sam shot back, "They ain't gonna kill me because I'm Sam Cooke."
I'm living, but I'm afraid to die.
Police arrested the entire group for disturbing the peace. The New York Times headline, "Negro Band Leader Held in Shreveport."
A long time coming, but I know.
Cooke was humiliated, enraged. A month later, he wrote, "A change is gonna come in less than an hour."
Then I go to my brother.
Inspired by Bob Dylan's "Blowin' in the Wind." Ashamed that a white man had written the protest song he should have created.
There've been times that I thought I could laugh.
When he played it for Bobby Womack, Bobby said it sounded like death. Sam agreed. That's why he never planned to perform it live.
But he winds up.
Too ominous, too real. When RCA released it in March 1964, radio stations didn't know what to do. This wasn't the Sam Cooke they knew.
A long time coming, but I know.
When released as a single in December, an entire verse was cut. The verse about the movies. Too controversial for white radio. On December 11, 1964, Sam Cooke was shot and killed at a Los Angeles motel.
Last for long. Now I think
11 days later, A Change Is Gonna Come hit stores. He was 33. He never got to see his greatest song become a civil rights anthem.
change gon' come. Oh, yes.
The song he was afraid to perform became the one that changed everything.
I'm able to carry on. It's
Number 9, Nina Simone, Mississippi Goddam.
everybody knows about Mississippi.
Nina Simone was classically trained, a child prodigy who dreamed of becoming the first Black American classical pianist.
Damn.
But racism blocked that path. By 1963, she was an established jazz artist.
Somebody say a prayer. Alabama.
Then came September 15th, 1963. 4 little girls murdered in a church bombing in Birmingham.
Can't you see it? Can't you feel it?
Denise McNair, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, Addie Mae Collins. Their names deserve to be remembered.
Hound dogs on my trail. School.
Nina sat at home, paralyzed with rage. She wanted to make a bomb, to strike back with violence. Instead, she wrote a song in less than an hour. Her first civil rights song. A week later, she performed Mississippi Goddam at a Greenwich Village nightclub. I mean every word of it.
Lord have mercy on this land of mine.
In March 1964, she performed it at Carnegie Hall. She introduced it as a show tune, but the show hadn't been written yet.
Believing in prayer.
The melody was upbeat, almost cheerful, like a Broadway number, but the words cut like a knife. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddam. Southern radio stations refused to play it. Promotional copies came back broken in half, snapped down the middle.
Well, that's just the trouble.
The message was clear. This song was not welcome. Some stations banned it for the word "God damn." But that wasn't the real reason.
Where am I going?
When she performed it on The Steve Allen Show in September 1964, censors bleeped every "God damn."
Stand up, be counted with all the rest. 'Cause
So Nina just mouthed the word. Venues started blacklisting her. But the civil rights movement embraced her. In March 1965, she performed at the end of the Selma to Montgomery March. Martin Luther King Jr. sat in the front row. Federal troops with guns surrounded the crowd. Nina changed the lyrics. Selma made me lose my rest.
they lied to me all these years.
The crowd roared. She sang so hard that day she damaged her vocal cords. Never hit those high notes again.
Oh, but America is full of black.
Through Mississippi Goddam, she said what no black man could safely say in 1964.
Everybody knows about Michael Jackson.
Number 8, Aretha Franklin, Respect.
What you want, baby?
When Aretha Franklin walked into the studio on Valentine's Day 1967, she was trying to save her career.
I got it. All I'm asking is for
She'd been making gospel music, beautiful music, but it wasn't connecting. She needed a hit.
I ain't gonna be wrong.
Producer Jerry Wexler handed her a song, Respect by Otis Redding, a modest hit 2 years earlier.
It's for respect whenever.
In Redding's version, a working man comes home and demands respect from his woman. Traditional, safe, a man's song.
When you get home, you
Aretha took one look at it and saw something else entirely. She sped it up, added her sisters as backup singers.
don't want too much. You know, Ralph. You know me.
They came up with "Sock It to Me," a phrase kids in Detroit were using. Then Aretha made the crucial change.
Mountain rock when you move in there. Yeah.
In Otis's version, he sings, "You can do me wrong." Aretha flipped it. "I won't do you wrong." She wasn't asking for respect. She was demanding it from a position of power.
Says, sweeter than honey. Get
The session was electric. Arif Mardin said there was never a day like that in his life. When the single dropped in April 1967, it hit number 1 and stayed there for 12 weeks.
that's what. So is long money.
Otis Redding was stunned. At Monterey Pop Festival that summer, he joked, "This next song is a girl took away from me." But his biographer says Redding didn't like it at first. The song no longer belonged to him. 5 months later, Otis died in a plane crash. He was 26. Aretha's version had become definitive. The summer of 1967 became the summer of Aretha, rap, and revolt. Women's rights activists claimed it. Civil rights leaders embraced it. It spoke to everyone demanding dignity. The ironic twist? Despite making the song immortal, Aretha never received a dime in royalties from radio play. Copyright law paid only songwriters and publishers, not performers. $0 for 7 million radio plays. Even her biggest hit became a fight for respect.
If these stories shocked you, we're just getting started. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next controversial moment. We're uncovering the truth behind the music every single week. Join the community. Let's dig deeper together.
Number 7, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Marvin Gaye was Motown's golden boy, smooth, sexy. The hits kept coming.
Mother, mother.
How sweet it is. I heard it through the grapevine. Berry Gordy had a formula. Make music that crossed over.
Father, mother.
Keep it light, keep it commercial. Politics, protest, that wasn't the Motown way.
Dying. You know we.
But Marvin was changing. His brother Frankie had returned from 3 years in Vietnam with nightmares. His cousin died serving. His marriage to Berry Gordy's sister was falling apart. America was burning.
You know we got to find a way.
In 1970, Ronaldo Obi Benson of the Four Tops brought him a song. Benson had witnessed police beating hippies in Berkeley.
Take it south.
He wrote it with Al Cleveland, but the Four Tops rejected it. Too much of a protest song.
Oh, what's going on? What's going
Marvin heard it and made it his own, rewrote the lyrics, added references to his brother's war trauma.
Come on here.
When he played it for Berry Gordy over the phone, Gordy told him, "Don't be ridiculous. That's taking things too far." Gordy called it the worst record I ever heard in my life, refused to release it, but Marvin wouldn't back down. He went on a recording strike, wouldn't record anything else until Gordy released What's Going On.
Got to find a way to bring some.
Motown executives Harry Balk and Barney Ailes took matters into their own hands. In January 1971, they sent 100,000 copies to stores without Gordy's knowledge.
With brutality. Talk to me, talk to me.
Then another 100,000. The song sold out immediately. Number 2 on pop charts, number 1 on R&B for 5 weeks.
Understand it. Head to head.
Berry Gordy quickly changed his tune. The full album dropped in May 1971, every song flowing into the next. A concept album about a Vietnam vet returning home to hatred, poverty, injustice. Songs about ecology, police brutality. Inner City Blues. The album sat at number 1 for weeks, became Motown's best-selling album to date. 50 years later, Rolling Stone named it the greatest album of all time, beating out Sgt. Pepper's. Marvin proved Berry Gordy wrong. Soul music could be political, and the people would buy it by the millions. Number 6, Curtis Mayfield, Superfly. Curtis Mayfield was already a legend. The Impressions, People Get Ready, the soundtrack of the civil rights movement. In 1971, producer Sig Shore and screenwriter Phil Fenty approached him after a Lincoln Center concert. They handed him a script. Superfly, a movie about a cocaine dealer trying to make one last score and get out.
But a hell of a man, this cat of the slum.
When Mayfield saw the rough footage, he was horrified. The movie had become a cocaine infomercial. Everything wrong with the streets, glamorizing the drug trade. No consequences, no truth. He almost walked away.
The only game you know is do or die.
But then he had a different idea. If the movie wouldn't tell the truth, the music would. Mayfield grew up in Chicago's Cabrini Green. He'd seen what drugs did. He spent 2 months writing songs. Pusherman, Freddie's Dead, Little Child Runnin' Wild. When the soundtrack dropped in July 1972, a month before the film, critics were stunned. The music was smarter than the movie itself. It told the real story. Freddie's Dead hit number 2. The title track hit number 8. Both sold over 1 million copies. The album knocked The Godfather off #1 at the box office. Soul music had never done that before, but the controversy was immediate. Chicago Tribune called the film sickening and dangerous.
The aim of his role was to deal.
Newsweek wrote, "Going to see yourself as a drug dealer when you're oppressed is sick. It's like a Jew paying to get into Auschwitz."
He would know. Can't be like the rest is the most.
Critics accused the film of glorifying the lifestyle it should condemn. Mayfield spent his life defending it. He told the Chicago Tribune, "Nobody called James Bond or Tarzan white exploitation movies."
Superfly.
With Superfly, things were different. The music told the truth even when the movie didn't. Hip-hop would embrace Mayfield's work as foundational.
Trying to get over.
The way he described street life, the unflinching honesty, it paved the way for rap.
Trying to get over.
Despite the controversy, the album was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1998, a year before Mayfield's death. He never apologized for telling the truth.
Trying to get over.
Number 5, Isaac Hayes, theme from Shaft. Isaac Hayes should never have been in that recording studio. He wanted to be John Shaft, the badass private detective. When director Gordon Parks was casting Shaft in 1971, Hayes threw his name in. But Richard Roundtree had been cast, so Hayes got something better. He got to score the entire film. There was one problem. Hayes couldn't write music on paper. He recorded everything on cassette. His ideas, his guitar parts. Then arranger Johnny Pate built orchestrations around them. Hayes composed 3 songs while watching raw footage. He had 2 months, between tour dates. Incredibly, he recorded the rhythm tracks with the bar Ks in 1 day, orchestral tracks the next, vocals the day after. Then he went back to Memphis and re-recorded everything for the album. He wanted a richer sound. When MGM heard the finished theme, they had notes. It was an instrumental.
Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine?
But they told Hayes it needed lyrics, or kids wouldn't buy it. Hayes went away and wrote the lyrics in 20 minutes. Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? Shaft. The single hit #1 in November 1971. The album hit #1. Hayes won 2 Grammys. But the Oscars were different. No composer from rock or soul had ever been nominated for Best Original Score. Not Duke Ellington, not Burt Bacharach, certainly not a black artist from Memphis who couldn't formally notate music. Hollywood didn't know what to do with Isaac Hayes. There was genuine controversy over whether Theme from Shaft even qualified under Academy rules.
Ask him for his woman. John Shaft.
But the music was undeniable. On March 27, 1972, Isaac Hayes became the first African American to win an Oscar for a non-acting category. At 29 years old, from picking cotton to the Academy Awards, he sat there in his gold chain vest and shaved head, Black Moses. The man who made soul music cinematic, Shaft launched an entire genre. Blaxploitation soundtracks, Curtis Mayfield's Superfly, Marvin Gaye's Trouble Man. Hayes had opened the door. Number 4, Sly and the Family Stone. There's a riot going on. Sly Stone was the king of positivity. Dance to the music. Yeah. Everyday people, I want to take you higher. Integrated band, black and white, men and women, peace and love, Woodstock, the sound of optimism. But by 1971, something had changed. Martin Luther King Jr. was dead. Malcolm X was dead. The Black Panthers were being dismantled.
Somebody that just loves to learn.
The riots of 1968 had shown America's cities could burn. Nixon was president. The dream was dying.
Just love to burn.
Sly Stone was drowning in cocaine, paranoid, isolated, building a home studio he called The Pit. CBS Records and Clive Davis wanted a new album in 1970. They wanted hit singles, the old Sly. Sly gave them 3 songs, then nothing. For over a year, he worked alone in The Pit, spending over $1 million, playing most instruments himself, using a drum machine instead of his band. The Maestro Rhythm King MRK2, unheard of in 1971.
Nobody.
When he finally delivered the album in November 1971, nobody was prepared. The original title was Africa Talks to You. The music sounded nothing like his previous work. Dark, murky, paranoid, the opposite of celebration.
Cry, 'cause you look broke down, but you.
Family Affair, the big single, featured his sister Rose and Bobby Womack, built around that strange drum machine pulse.
You can't leave 'cause your heart is there.
It hit #1, but it wasn't a party song. The album cover showed an American flag like bloody rags. The message was clear.
It's a family affair.
This wasn't optimistic Sly. This was Sly surveying the wreckage of the 60s dream. Critics were divided. Some called it brilliant. Others said the production was deliberately muddy to hide weak material. The truth was more complicated. Sly was documenting his own disillusionment. The Death of Hope, where Marvin Gaye channeled pain into lush strings and gospel soul, Sly made it ugly, matching sound to feeling. The album went to #1 anyway. People understood. This was what the 70s actually felt like, not the idealism of the 60s. The hangover, the reckoning. Sly never fully recovered.
Just love to burn.
But There's a Riot Going On captured the moment when the revolution realized it had failed. Number 3, Nina Simone, 4 Women. Nina Simone wasn't done making people uncomfortable. 2 years after Mississippi Goddam, she released something even more provocative. 4 Women told the stories of 4 black women.
Strong enough to
Aunt Sarah, Sophronia, Sweet Thing, Peaches, each one a stereotype, each one a truth, each one a wound that wouldn't heal.
take all the pain.
Aunt Sarah, with skin like coal, worked in the fields for far too long, back bent and strong. Sophronia, mixed race.
My skin is yellow.
Father was rich and white, mother was black, caught between 2 worlds. Sweet Thing, selling her body for survival.
My name is Aunt Sarah.
Because that's what society left her. And Peaches, angry, defiant, tired of taking it.
Love was rich and white.
Her name carrying the weight of every slur thrown at black women. The song was banned almost immediately. Radio stations called it too controversial, too angry.
My name is Sophronia.
Critics said it reinforced stereotypes instead of challenging them. They missed the point entirely.
He forced my mother late one night.
Nina wasn't endorsing these images. She was holding up a mirror, showing what racism had done, the pain it had caused, the boxes it had forced black women into.
And my hair's alright. It's fine.
But America in 1966 wasn't ready for that conversation, especially not from a black woman who refused to smile and make it palatable. Venues started canceling her shows. Radio play dried up. Her career suffered. But Nina never apologized. She said an artist's duty was to reflect the times. These were the times. These were the women. These were the scars.
What do they call?
If people were uncomfortable, good. They should be uncomfortable. Years later, the song would be recognized as a masterpiece. A necessary confrontation with history. But in 1966, it was just too much truth for anyone to handle.
Think that was shocking? We're just getting started. Subscribe now. You won't believe what's coming next.
Number 2, James Brown. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. James Brown had played it safe for years. The hardest working man in show business. Crossover appeal.
My beating with my hand. All the work I've done.
After Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination in April 1968, Brown performed at a benefit concert, tried to calm tensions.
Some people say it's malice.
Vice President Hubert Humphrey publicly thanked him for keeping cities from rioting.
Till we get what we deserve. I worked hard.
Brown had built his career carefully, pleasing white audiences while maintaining connection to the black community. But by August 1968, he was tired. Tired of moderation. Tired of being told to be patient. Tired of waiting. He'd been talking to young black activists. The ones who felt the civil rights movement had been too accommodating. They weren't interested in asking nicely anymore. Brown wasn't either. He wrote, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud," quickly. Inspired by those conversations. For the recording session, he brought in children from Watts and Compton. Young voices, unafraid. When those children sang, "I'm black and I'm proud," it wasn't anger. It was the future announcing itself. Many radio stations refused to play it. Program directors called it divisive, racial separatism. Stations that had played Brown for years suddenly wouldn't touch it. White listeners who'd supported him turned away. Brown didn't care. The song wasn't for them. It was for Black America. And Black America embraced it immediately. Number 1 on the R&B charts. Number 10 on pop despite the resistance. Stokely Carmichael and other Black Power activists praised it. Finally, a mainstream artist sang it out loud, not asking for acceptance, not begging for tolerance, claiming pride as a birthright. What made it controversial wasn't just the message, it was the timing. America was still reeling from King's assassination, from riots, from fear that racial violence might tear the nation apart.
Every voice would have.
To many white Americans, Brown's song felt like throwing gasoline on a fire. But to Black Americans, especially young ones tired of being patient, it felt like oxygen. Permission to breathe. Brown's career never fully recovered from the backlash, but he never regretted it. He'd said what needed to be said, and millions of people heard it. Number 1, Curtis Mayfield, Pusherman. The same year Curtis Mayfield gave us Superfly, he gave us its most controversial track, Pusherman. A song told from the perspective of a drug dealer. First person. No apologies. The N-word was in there. street slang. Your main boy, super cool, trying to get over. This wasn't Curtis Mayfield, the civil rights songwriter. This was Curtis Mayfield, the truth teller. He'd grown up in Cabrini Green. He knew the Pusherman. He'd seen what drugs did to neighborhoods. So when he wrote from the dealer's perspective, he made it seductive. That was the point. The Pusherman in the song brags about his product, his connections, his ability to provide what people need. He's not a monster in his own mind. He's a businessman. That's what made it so dangerous. Because Mayfield was showing how the drug trade actually worked, how it sold itself. Not with violence and intimidation, though that was there, but with promises, with relief, with escape. Radio stations wouldn't touch it. Too controversial, too honest, too close to glorifying drug dealing. But the song became essential at concerts and protests. People understood what Mayfield was doing. He wasn't endorsing the Pusherman. He was explaining him, making people understand the trap for the users and the trap for the dealers, both caught in a system that destroyed communities. Hip-hop would later embrace this approach. NWA, Tupac, Biggie. They all owed a debt to what Curtis Mayfield started with Pusherman. The willingness to step into the darkness and report back, to show the enemy from the inside. Mayfield said in 1972, "The way you clean up the films is by cleaning up the streets." The music and movies of today are the conditions that exist. You change music and movies by changing the conditions. He refused to apologize for showing the truth, even when that truth made people uncomfortable, especially when it made people uncomfortable. That was the whole point.